faster than your last group.
Well, let's get out of here. Twinbay means let's go. Let's go, Twinbay. Jumbo is how we say hello here in Africa. Jumbo. Welcome aboard Kilimanjaro Safaris. My name is Brian, and for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be your guide here in the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, an 800 square mile area founded in 1971 for the protection of the local wildlife. To help aid in the protection of the animals against people like poachers, we have an airborne patrol, wardens in the sky, watching out for their safety night and day. Like Warden Wilson here, Jumbo Wilson, Symbol 1, entering the reserve and Itsuri Forest. Over.
I'm Jumbo, Symbol 1. Keep your eyes open and track carefully. You should see lots of animals.
Oh, roger that, Wilson. Look all around, keep your eyes peeled. You never know where you might see an animal. Like over there to the right there is an okapi. Very shy and reclusive, okapis were not discovered by the Western world until 1901. Please remain seated. Can anyone tell me, based on looking at that okapi, what it might be related to? Zebra, great guess. I misdirected you, incorrect. Actually, the thing you want to look at is their tongues, 18 inches long, just like their cousin, the giraffe. Over here to our left is a watering hole, a very important part of the local ecosystem. That's because there are animals that gather here that don't do so anywhere else. One kind of animal we look for is the black rhinoceros. Now, black rhinos have a hide an inch thick. They can charge 35 miles an hour, weigh close to 3,000 pounds. That makes them pretty well impervious to any predator out there, except for one, that predator being man. Sadly, they've been poached nearly to the brink of extinction, where once they roamed Africa by the hundreds of thousands. Today in the entire world, there are fewer than 3,600. They're not even safe on a reserve like this. It's estimated that over 90% of black rhino deaths are due to poaching. So we at Kilimanjaro Safaris do what we can to try to help watch out for their safety. As Warden Wilson is so apt to say, grow eyes for poachers. Let's see, 1, 2, there. Now look up the hill to our right. There is a bongo that goes to the forest. Very shy and reclusive. Bongos have horns that lean way back on their heads, allowing them to move very quickly through the thick tangled brush. And that's where they like to stay. Now coming up to our left, a large black and white bird. This is a saddle-billed stork, the tallest stork in Africa. They can stand 5 to 5.5 feet tall, with a wingspan of 8 to 9 feet, and they are amazing hunters. They can actually catch small birds while in flight. They're named, of course, for that saddle shape on their bill. Our next destination is Lake Nasuru, one of the more boring places I can possibly think of to take you. You guys like hippos? Tell you what, change of plans. Let's head on over to the Sapi River instead, see if we can spot some hippos. Just don't tell anyone we're doing this. The Sapi River's off limits to safari trucks. We're really not supposed to go this way. There's some dangerous things ahead, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Just remain seated, we'll all be okay. Now, hippos, when they're first born, weigh about 85 pounds. A fully grown Nile hippopotamus can tip the scale at over 5,000 pounds. Now, because of their very large body size and body weight, they have to stay underwater most of the day. If they were to come out for too long in the hot African sun, they'd overheat very quickly. So they stay underwater, come out at night, and during that time they'll feed on about 150 pounds of vegetation. On the island to our left, if you look up in the trees, you'll see those little black birds with white throats. Those are white-breasted cormorants. They don't have any waterproofing in their feathers, so when they dive underwater they get completely soaked. And there's some pink-backed pelicans. Now, pink-backed pelicans live in large colonies and hunt together. See, what they'll do is herd fish into shallow water where it's easy for everyone to eat. As we're coming around the corner, I just want to remind everybody once again to please remain seated. We're coming up to one of the most dangerous areas of the Sapi River. You see, up ahead is a bridge with a 4-ton weight limit. Without all of us on board, this truck is still 9 tons. And under that bridge live some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles are much more aggressive than American alligators or American crocodiles. They have incredibly powerful jaws. When they clamp down on their prey, they do so with a bone-crushing force of 1,200 pounds of pressure per square inch. Did I mention that's enough to crush bone? Well, that's enough to crush bone. So, you know, on that thought, let's get out of here.
in.
Well, this is Simba One. Go ahead, Wilson.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activity in the red clay pit. You definitely want to check out that area.
Roger that, Wilson. Hey, you guys like elephants? Let's head over that way, see if we can spot some elephants at the red clay pits. Now, to get there, we're going to have to pass through a completely different ecosystem. I think you're going to like what you see. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Savannah Grassland. You're now looking at the superhighway of millions of migratory animals every year, and year-round home to millions more. It stretches for hundreds of miles as part of the Serengeti grassland system. This is part of the wild Africa that Harambe Wildlife Reserve was created and exists to protect. Look over there to the right, there's some white-bearded wildebeest, part of the largest migration left in the world today. 1.5 million wildebeest migrate across Africa every year. Their name means wild cattle. Now let's take a moment to take a look around and take note of the landscape, which is created, designed, and maintained by the animals themselves. Elephants are bulldozers, knocking trees over to get to the leaves, and that allows light to get in, allows seeds to be spread. Giraffes are pruning shears, eating directly from the canopy of the trees, allowing even more light through. Zebras and antelopes, like these Patterson Zealands coming up to our left, well, they're the mowers. They eat the grass, and that allows new shoots to grow, while warthogs and gazelles are the weed whackers, trimming around the edges. In a balanced ecosystem like this, there's plenty of food for everyone. Now, the Patterson Zealand is the largest antelope in Africa. Males can weigh up to 2,000 pounds, stand 6 feet tall on the shoulder, and get this, from a dead stop, they can jump straight up in the air about 8 feet. Coming up here to our left, some sable antelopes, the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. These little animals with the racing stripes are Thompson's gazelles, or here in Africa, we call them Tommies. One of the most prolific animals out here on the savannah. Looks like, this one here looks like a little baby, doesn't it? Believe it or not, they are all full-grown adults, all that I can see anyway. Now on either side of the truck are some Ankoli or Watusi cattle, also known as the cattle of kings for their long symmetrical horns that get up to 5 to 6 feet in length, acting as a radiator system for their bodies. Blood flows into their horns through very large blood vessels, cools off in the air, flows back into their bodies, and cools their bodies down. It's a very efficient system, and efficiency is the name of the game out here on the savannah. They play a very, very important role in local society. You see, people take a great pride in owning Ankoli cattle, and they're considered a form of status, if you will. The president of Rwanda has a good deal of status being the president, after all, right? Well, to him, that is nothing compared to the fact that he owns over 200 Ankoli, or Watusi cattle. As we come around the corner, look off in the distance, you're going to see a funny-looking tree. That's a baobab tree. Baobabs live up to 2,000 years, storing vast amounts of water inside. They have a very spongy interior that they use to hold moisture, and so they don't use it as quickly. They remain leafless about 9 months a year. Impalas are capable of incredible leaps, 30 to 35 feet, about the length of this truck. And look in that grove of trees at my favorite animal on the planet, the tallest animal on land. There is a reticulated giraffe. They can stand up to 20 feet tall. A newborn giraffe is only 6 feet tall. Only 6 feet tall. Everybody 5'11" or shorter. Raise your hand for just a moment. And that's what I thought. Newborn giraffe could look down on most of us. The name of giraffe is an Arabic word, and it means one who is graceful, or one who is beautiful. Pretty accurate, don't you think? Now you guys said you like elephants, right? Good, I think I just spotted one. This is Simba One, approaching Monkey Point. Oh no. Roger Wilson, that's not good. We'll keep our eyes peeled. We'll let you know if we see anything. Keep us updated as well. Simba One out. Over here to our left is an area we call Monkey Point. There's a colony of mandrills that have made their home here. Mandrills are the largest, most colorful monkeys in the world. Males can weigh up to 100 pounds. They're very social animals. They'll spend hours every day grooming each other. They've been spotted in colonies with as many as 800 members. Now let's see if we can get some music going. There's a radio station nearby. If I can just get the radio station to work. commercials. There we go. I love this song. So here we are on a safari in Africa with an expert safari guide. Some elephant watching music. What's the only thing missing now? Well, there's an elephant, but we're still missing a good view of an elephant. I wouldn't even take out your cameras for that one. Tell you what, let's see if we can head up around the corner, get a nice view of an elephant from this pedestrian bridge. I better turn off the radio. Now, yes, I did say it's a pedestrian bridge, but don't worry, it's reinforced. See the rope? Just look over there to the right, and let's see if we can catch a nice view of an elephant. Over there to the right, right. Lean right, everybody. Lean right, lean right, lean right, lean right. Don't move a muscle. Now, here in Africa, we have a rule. When we cross bridges, we cross our Sante Sana. Since it is my expert safari driving, we got us out of that mess. I'll take the credit. Hakuna Matata. Now look here on either side of the truck, some red clay pits with tusk marks, footprints, definite signs of elephant activity. Elephants use that red clay as part of their diet, providing them with minerals they don't get anywhere else. It's one of those things that a young elephant has to learn from its mother. Now let's take a moment and compare, or let's contrast elephants with the wildebeest we saw earlier. Does anybody know how long it takes a wildebeest from the time it's born until it can not just stand, not just walk, but run? Sorry, what was that? It takes more than about 10 minutes. That newborn wildebeest is an easy snack for large cats. Elephants, on the other hand, have a very long childhood, about 15 years. During that time, they spend just about every moment right by their mother's side, learning everything they need to know about how to survive. That includes things like where to find food and water, what to and not to eat, how to interact with other elephants and other animals, how to protect themselves from the sun, how to defend themselves from predators, even things that would seem so basic as how to use their trunk and their tusks. Without that time with its mother, a young elephant doesn't stand a chance at a nice, long, full, healthy life. Hopefully Warden Wilson will be getting back to us shortly. Hopefully they'll find that mother elephant. Hopefully the worst hasn't happened to her. I hope it's not poachers. Over here to our left, some greater flamingos. Of all flamingos, they have the lightest coloring. They get their coloring from the beta-carotene found in the brine shrimp that they eat. Now when they first hatch, and speaking of first hatching, this is right at the season where they should be hatching. So look at these ones that are nesting over here. You might see some baby greater flamingos. Oh, there's one. As you can see, when they first hatch, they're little gray fuzzballs. Actually, I'm going to guess that one's about a day old. You see it? When they first hatch, they're little gray fuzzballs. Takes about 2 years to get that nice, rich pink coloring. Now, how would you like to meet one of Africa's greatest conservation success stories? All right, well, I'd like to try to introduce you, if I can, to the white rhinoceros. You see, white rhinos, like black rhinos, had been poached nearly to the brink of extinction. But thanks to anti-poaching legislation, conservation efforts, and education, we've been able to return their numbers to a much more sustainable level. Now, when I say education, here's what I'm talking about. In many parts of the world, like Asia, here in Africa, and parts of Europe, there are people that believe rhino horn has medicinal and aphrodisiac value. Does anybody know what's in a rhino's horn that fetches $50,000 on the black market for one horn? Not ivory. Now, run your fingers through your hair. Take a look at your fingernails. That's it right there. Compressed keratin has all the medicinal value of biting your nails. Some things I choose not to understand. There's an ostrich, the largest bird in the world. Males have the largest eyes of any terrestrial animal, about the size of a golf ball. They're flightless, but they do have wings that they use to steady themselves as they run about 40 miles an hour. Speaking of running quickly, look very closely into the trees over there to our left. I just spotted a cheetah. Fastest animal on land, they can run up to 70 miles an hour. When they run that quickly, they're actually sprinting, can't hold it for very long, otherwise they overheat very quickly. Cheetahs are the only large cats that hunt primarily during the day, using their sense of sight to locate prey. Other large cats use their sense of smell, hunting mostly at night. Now here in Africa, when I say other large cats, of course you know that I'm talking about lions, that's right. This rock formation is called a kopi. Kopi is Swahili, it means little head, it refers to the way the rocks jut up out of the ground. And lions like to use them as a place to go up and look out across the savannah to see what's on the menu, and for 20 hours a day, to sleep. Compare that with giraffes that spend 20 hours a day eating. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Here's some scimitar horned oryxes over here to our right. The scimitar horned oryx is named for its horns that look like the Middle Eastern sword, the scimitar. Their horns grew up to 42 inches in length. Look back at these lions over here. I spotted a female lion over here as well. Where is she? There she is. Males weigh up to 550 pounds and females only 400. A pride of lions will consist of one male, several females, and their young. Look over here to our left. Here are some warthog burrows. Warthogs are the largest burrowing animal in Africa. See what they'll do? So they'll actually dig out the holes with their tusks, and then back into them, using their tusks for protection. Up here to our right, some ostrich eggs. The largest eggs laid by any bird, up to 3 pounds each. One ostrich egg is roughly the equivalent in size and weight to a dozen chicken eggs. Airborne Patrol, Symbol 1, I just heard your plane nearby. That's usually not a good sign. Is everything okay? Over? Oh no. Oh no, what do you think, folks? Can we help Warden Wilson? Roger, Wilson, this is Symbol 1 on the way. That sounds like Wilson's plane is off the reserve over toward Magadi Canyon. And the gate's been smashed. I'll bet this is how the poachers got on the reserve and probably back up. Airborne Patrol, Symbol 1, leaving the reserve following the sound of your plane. I didn't see which way the poachers went, though. Over.
The poachers are heading east. Keep going. Can you drive them to my patrol? Over.
Roger, Wilson, heading east. Right into Magadi Canyon. Keep your hands and feet inside the truck. These geysers are extremely hot. They're created from waters pushed up out of the ground. Whoa! Looks like we found those poachers. I think our best course of action is definitely to get out of here. Come on. Whoa. Wait a second, what's that? Airborne Patrol, Symbol 1. I've spotted the poachers' camp, but it's deserted. Oh no, we're too late. This is not good at all. Oh, that's excellent, Wilson. What do those poachers have to say for themselves? Ah. And now we did it! Oh, roger that, Wilson. Good luck. Well, asante sana, everyone. Thanks to you, that baby elephant now stands a chance at a nice, long, full, healthy life. As for us, on the other hand, well, I'm a little bit lost. Let's head up the hill here, see if I can find something that looks familiar. Something like, oh, here we go, Warden Post number 4. You know, as I think about it, this is a great place for us to be. Those poachers are still out there, and you saw what they're willing to do to us. It would be very irresponsible of me to try to continue this tour. I'll drop you off here. It's a quick walk back to Harambee Village along a nice, well-traveled path, and that way, you'll be safe. Asante Sana, thank you for choosing Kilimanjaro Safaris, the largest, most trusted safari company in East Africa today. My name is Brian. It's been a pleasure being your guide. Now, here in Africa, we don't like saying goodbye. Instead, we use a Swahili phrase, kwaherini. Kwaherini simply means go well, everyone. Kwaherini.